First, we've got some breaking news. Pro-Palestinian protesters are planning to gather on Friday at Sydney's Town Hall, opposing Premier Chris Minns' government's recently introduced anti-protest laws. The rally, which is scheduled for 6 p.m, will also demand the cancellation of a planned visit by Israeli President Isaac Herzog. Now, if this protest goes ahead, it will be staged during what is the current two-week ban on such types of events, which doesn't expire until Tuesday, the 20th of January, so Tuesday next week. Police have told Sky News this evening that they plan to formally respond tomorrow, but have stated that during this time, no public assemblies can be authorised under the Summary Offences Act 1988. So protesters wouldn't be protected by that act. Police could move in and move people on and arrest them far more easily than they would with a protest that does have permission. Look, let's get to our panel now. And joining me tonight is Sky News contributor Louise Roberts and chief economist at the Institute of Public Affairs, Adam Crichton. Welcome, both of you. Let's start with Anthony Albanese's hate speech reforms. And Multicultural Affairs Minister Anne Ali has said the government is open to criminalising other forms of hate, like Islamophobia and homophobia, after the anti-Semitism bill passes. She told The Australian once the Combating Anti-Semitism, Hate and Extremism bill passes through Parliament, the government is open to considering extending the protections to other forms of hate. Now, Adam, there has been this concern that these laws, which I would argue are needed in some respect to protect the Jewish community, could be exploited or broadened to criminalise other kinds of speech or thought crime. And now it seems like Anne Ali is belling the cat here.
Well, look, that doesn't really surprise me at all. I mean, I think the truth is these are laws that elements of the Labor Party would have liked to have passed even before the atrocity of Bondi last year. These are totalitarian laws, in my view. It's a dark day for free speech in Australia if these laws are passed. They're going to criminalise a great deal of behaviour that I think will shock people, and the laws will be implemented arbitrarily. And, you know, I think it should be opposed completely. Look, it doesn't surprise me that they want to expand the scope. I mean, the law, as it's drafted at the moment, basically criminalises a form of conduct if some hypothetical so-called a reasonable person could be intimidated. There doesn't actually have to be any harm caused by a statement or a slogan or a T-shirt even, or a comment on Facebook. These would be criminal acts if people could, in theory, feel intimidated based on their nationality or religion. So I think we have to be very, very careful before we pass these laws, and the laws will be even worse if they are extended, as you suggest, to other groups. You know, we already have toughened laws. The New South Wales Parliament, the Victorian Parliament last year passed very tough laws for hate speech and for incitement to violence, which of course is already illegal, and the federal parliament did as well. And of course those laws did absolutely nothing to stop the atrocity at Bondi last year, and I don't think these new laws will either. They're just going to criminalise a lot of behaviour and chill speech. They're probably going to end comedy as we know it. So it won't just be the Adelaide Writers' Festival, it'll be the Melbourne Comedy Festival as well that is ended, because you won't be able to make any jokes.
Well, yeah, although a lot of, I think, the jokes that happen at these comedy festivals tend to all run one way politically. That's so, I mean, true. You know, that's maybe there's no great absence there. But no, I think you're right. There is a very chilling aspect to it. And we do have tough laws. We already had incitement to violence laws, and these were never tested. You know, much to the frustration of the Jewish community, they weren't tested. The laws we did have.
They're currently not enforced, as you say.
Exactly.
That's right.
So why would the new ones
not be enforced? They should be enforced.
Exactly. And Louise, look, speaking of hate speech and incitement to violence, the Al Medina Dawa Centre, the Southwest Sydney Prayer Hall, which has been linked to one of the Bondi gunmen, and once was led by the jihadist hate preacher Wissam Haddad, will close its doors permanently. This was an announcement that came today after the New South Wales Premier had earlier announced a suite of new laws making it easier for local councils to shut down non-compliant religious spaces. I guess the question, though, Louise, is how on earth was this place able to operate with such impunity for so long?
Well, they're too afraid to affect certain members of the community, aren't they, Caroline? They're worried about their voter base, I guess. And look, these are poison factories that should have been shut down a long, long time ago, as you say. Shouldn't have even been operating under the auspices that it was. And I think the government, what they're trying to do is obviously federally is trying to get these new hate speech laws through without actually defining what hate is. And the things that actually really upset the Jewish community, the globalising, the infodata and things like that, it's not even going to tackle that. And you've got the Commissioner for the AFP, Chrissy Barrett, saying that even she can't guarantee 100% safety if the law is actually pushed through. So it's an absolute mess because nobody's happy with it. I don't think the Jewish community is happy with it. Muslims are saying it doesn't, protect them. And you've got Christians saying it's going to be, punishment for religious beliefs, as Adam says. So it's a disaster already.
Yeah, and it seems so rushed. I mean, hundreds of pages of legislation that was rushed through, and it could potentially open the door for these chilling effects. But at the same time, as a member of that Jewish community, I want the government to do more about this.